Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on Archive. D-Style here. We like what you're listening to. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell button. Like a speed bag, you'll see the shaking symbol to make sure you're notified every single time DStyleBoxing comes on live. Make sure you throw a jab. A nice clean jab. Down the pipe. Right at that bell button. I'm sorry, well, hit that too, but at the like button. All right? Make sure you hit that like button. Throw a jab. Throw a jab at that like button. Check it out. Check this out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. All right? I don't know if you've heard. All right? I don't know if you've heard yet. I don't know if you've gotten the news yet. All right? I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, and while I do my sound check here on my headset, this is your daily reminder that this week has been declared Sugar Shane Appreciation Week. It just sounds right that way. It really does, okay? There we go. The sound check went through. Man, that YouTube was taking forever to play that. All right, but anyway, this is, in fact, Sugar Shane Mosley Week. I always do a video for the Appreciated Fighter, start of every week. All right, this time I was technically 2 days late, but it's okay. I'm still here. All right. While I'm at it, for those listening on archive, remember, all right, 10 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Fridays. DStyleBoxing comes on live. Hit that notification button so you're notified. Write down your calendars. We'll go, most Fridays go live as well, but Fridays I can be off, okay? It is Friday night, after all. All right? Planning to this Friday, but we'll see. I'm not sure yet, okay? Also, yesterday afternoon, I did my most recent boxing stories. I'm not even sure what volume it is. I got to get those volumes up. I'll probably redo some of those, but we'll see, especially for a lot of new subscribers that came in. But make sure you check that out, man. I talk about my dad, my grandfather, how they got me into boxing, how they instilled that love of boxing, how I got my dad back into boxing himself, you know, and how I bonded with them, especially with my dad later in my life. And with my grandfather, how I talked boxing with him, and all the way to his deathbed, man. The dude loved the sport. I always enjoyed watching boxing with him, learning from him, and tell some stories there, man. You know, some are just heartfelt, some are funny. Check it out, okay? Make sure you check that out if you haven't already. All right. Also, I got some translation videos out there. You guys can go to my description box. Go to DStyleBoxing. You will see, the president of Mexico praising Andy Ruiz. Check out that video. All right. I got a video of Tyson Fury being interviewed in Spanish. He does speak in English, but you'll see what they were asking him in Spanish. Check that out. I did that translation too as well. And don't forget to, throw a jab at those like buttons as well. So, make sure you guys check that out. Those translation videos do take a while. And speaking of translation videos, I am at 19,725, something like that. Last time I checked on that Julio Cesar Chavez on the Andy Ruiz victory. All right. That's on the translation of that ESPN broadcast of a los golpes. Check that out. All right, I want to get it to 20,000. That's a goal. So if you haven't listened to it yet, go there and listen to it. Give it a good listen. It's worth the listen. Took time to do it. And, throw a jab at that like button and then share it. Okay, share it on YouTube, share it on social media. I want to get it to 20,000 before the end of the week. All right, so that's that. That's enough shameless plugging and shameless promoting of my own videos on this video. Okay, this is Sugar Shane Mosley Appreciation Week. I got 2 polls up already that I need you guys to vote on. All right. A83 in the house is Saludos D-Style. What's going on, bro? Thank you for joining me here. And I hope you know that this is Sugar Shane Mosley Appreciation Week. Although I like the sound of just Sugar Shane Appreciation Week. Has a better ring to it, all right? Better ring to it. That's how I'll be referring to it. You can say Mosley too. It's okay, all right? It's all right. But I got 2 polls up. 2 of them, all right? I got 2 polls up. How do you get to the polls? D-Style. I don't know anything. How do I get to the polls? I don't see the polls. D-Style. Well, this is how you get to the polls, all right? This is how you get to the polls. First, you go to my channel. How do you go to somebody's channel? You click on their name. If you're watching this video, for example, right? Especially you're watching an archive, you click on my name, DStyleBoxing, right below the video. Click on that. You could also go to, okay, www.youtube.com/DStyleBoxing. That's another way to get directly to my channel. Okay, I do have that. Okay, you can't get it that way, right? In case you're listening to this outside of YouTube. And then you go to the community tab. Community. There's different tabs. Okay, there's videos, playlists, channels, about. You go to community, right? On the community page, you got 2 polls up right now. For Sugar Shane Mosley, we've got more polls coming. All right. We're not going to empty the clip right off the bat. Okay. We're going to get more intense with the polls as they go on. For those that don't know, Sugar Shane Mosley won the poll, beating out Timothy Bradley, beating out, Marcos Maidana, and beating out the Klitschko brothers. Okay. So he advances. All right. Juan Manuel Marquez won the poll 2 weeks ago. That's why we had Marquez of Queensberry Week. And now it's Sugar Shane Appreciation Week. I think it has a really good sound to it. Later in the week, like in 2 days or so, I'll have a poll up for who's going to have the next Appreciation Week. And we're also going to have the qualifiers to advance for that. I'm going to be announcing who made the qualifiers in another video. All right. With that said, I also have a video up on how it works. Check that out as well. Okay, you could always go back. How does the appreciation thing going to work? You could go back, look at that video. Let's get back to Shane Mosley. Let's get back to Shane. All right. Bam Bam tweet in the house says, "What's up, D? What's going on? Have you voted, Bam Bam? Has Bam Bam voted on the polls? Is what I want to know. I need to know if you voted." So again, go to DStyleBoxing. Okay, it's youtube.com/DStyleBoxing, or just click on my name on my video, DStyleBoxing. Go to community. Once you're on the community page, there's 2 polls. Poll number 1. Which was Shane Mosley's best performance at lightweight? That's 135 pounds. Philip Holiday, the man he won the title from, who was an undefeated fighter. I believe he had like 7, defenses at that point. And Shane Mosley, for the first time in his career, was fighting 12 rounds. All right? Putting that in perspective. Okay, Jesse James Leha, who's in the lead right now at 50% of the vote. A really, really good, was a veteran at the time, very experienced fighter. Some argued was the major test of Mosley at that weight class. Okay, Leha was really, really good at 130, right? So that's definitely something to keep in mind. There's Golden Johnson, who you may mad but at the time, man, it is best performance. Mosley looked spectacular in that fight, right? And then there's John Molina, who did some stuff even after that. Okay, John Molina is also on the poll. We have 38 votes right now. Jesse James Leha is in the lead. But keep voting. Give us your thoughts. You could always put in the comment section, hey, I think this, I think that. Okay, you could always do that. All right. Also, the second poll, which was just posted not that long ago. Just got 2 more votes on that one, by the way. All right. Look at that. We're at 9 votes now. We started at 2 votes when I started the video. Now we're at 9 votes. Good job. All right. Batman 2 says, yes, I voted that he was the best at what weight? 147, even though he lost to Vernon the Viper. So he voted 147. The question is, Mosley's most memorable weight class, and it's to you. Which weight class was the most memorable to you? And to Bam Bam, it was 147. All right. The weight classes are obviously 135, 147, and 154. All right, right now it's only 9 votes, but lightweight is welterweight is ahead with 56% of the vote. Lightweight with 33. Junior middleweight, or super welterweight, whatever you want to call it, is there as well. All right, you never know. Maybe to someone that was just where they maybe first found out who Mosley was. I don't know. All right, so that's why I have it on there. It is a shame. I am thinking of doing a poll on, if Mosley wouldn't have just bypassed 147, who he could have fought at 140. That would have been some, man. And but he just went straight at it, man. I know there was that big money fight with De La Hoya, so we can't really blame him. You can't even argue it was a mistake, really. But there's still some fights there at 140, especially at that time. I might have a poll on that. Okay, on which fight would like to have seen. All right, at 140, or a fight, whoever I think the toughest fight was, say, who would have won, Mosley or this guy. We will see. All right, I just got to double check the timeline and everything, make sure it adds up. But you guys let me know what you think. And of course, we got some others, man. Yes, I know. Most satisfying victory, obviously, that's coming. Okay, that's obviously coming. All right, there's layers to the career of Shane Mosley. You can even have the best knockout of Shane Mosley's career. You can even have that. So we're going to have a lot of polls for Shane Mosley. Every day there will be a new poll. All right, every day. Every single day. All right. Most exciting Shane Mosley fight, whether you won or lost. Okay, you can do a lot with Shane. All right. John Green Trujillo in the house, and he says Mosley versus Cotto was a fucking good fight. It was a good fight. I enjoyed that fight. And let me tell you, man, we're going to be celebrating Sugar Shane Mosley in this Appreciation Week. We are. And, I was thinking about it, but, man, I don't know, man. I don't. Should I wait to now? Like, I don't know, man. I already decided on who is going to be added to the qualifiers. So obviously, Marco Antonio Barrera, when the polls closed, midnight Friday, was ahead. Okay, I took a screenshot. Last I checked, it was a tie with him and Morales. It was a tie, right? So I'll either be doing one or two things. All right? Since the Klitschko brothers are getting such a low percentage. All right. I don't know why. I know these people don't like the Klitschkos, but I think we could appreciate them. I don't appreciate them at all, D-Style. Fine. The people have spoken. Right. But I'm thinking of removing the Klitschko brothers and just moving forward with Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera. But I want to be fair. Right. Barrera did win the poll, but they are tight now. The last time I checked, anyway. All right. So I'm thinking of just kind of moving them to the main poll, putting up for a vote along with Bradley and Maidana. Okay. That way I can, Haddon is gone from the qualifiers. Right. Haddon got less than 10% of the vote. He's gone. Froch barely stayed on, so we're going to let Froch stay on. If Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales advance, we'll keep Froch, and we can add the following. Miguel Cotto. All right, I'm just going to do it now. Fuck it. Miguel Cotto, Bernard Hopkins, and James Toney. All right? We can add those three guys. And we'll be up for a vote. And the winner of that qualifier will advance. Okay? To be put up for a vote for an Appreciation Week next week. That's what I'm thinking. I'd like to know what you think. Or D-Style. Barrera won. Barrera gets to advance. Your boy Morales needs to stay in the qualifiers. Fine. Okay? I might just do a poll on that. I don't know. The greatest Mosley fight, the KO Margarito. Fuck Margarita. Says, damn. Batman tweet at 140. Is that Jewett or Casasu? Yeah, man. Definitely. Absolutely. That man tweet says, D-Style, you should add Pernell Whitaker to one of your selections. And we're going to get there. All right, we're going to get there. Haddon is off. Must be an England thing. Well, here's the thing. He just got 6% or something like that of the vote. You're out. New rule, you need 10% of the vote or more. And that's it. Now, in the main poll, technically, the Klitschko's got more than that. So that's why I'm kind of debating whether I should remove him or not. Okay. Obviously, Mosley won the poll. So that's about at a spot. But we'll see. Well, I'll figure it out. I'll decide by the end of today. Tell you what, 10 p.m. Eastern time tonight, D-Style, I am going to make an official decision on that. You guys can stay tuned, listen on that. All right. Yeah, he's pronounced definitely different era. It would have been a better fight if it was Pretty Boy Floyd versus Sugar Shane instead of the late fight at 135. Absolutely. That would have been a hell of a fight. Right? And Mosley Mayweather would have fought, man. When Mayweather was king of 130 and Mosley was dominating 135, man, would that have been something. And I got to tell you, a lot of people are not going to like hearing this, but I think it's a different fight at that weight class. I really do. I'm not going to tell you yet who I think wins. Okay, but it's a much closer fight. I'll tell you that right now. And whether that gave it away or not, I'll let you decide. But I think it's a hell of a fight. No doubt about it. No doubt about that. None. And of course, I think that's a poll in itself, to be honest with you. Mayweather, that'll probably be tomorrow's poll, right? Because we're early in the week. That's around that time of Mosley's career. I might throw that in before we even go to welterweight and all that. We're gonna probably ask that before we proceed, man. And I think that's a question that's been debated. And if you think that a Mosley that was inactive for quite a while, by the way, all right. Mosley was inactive for quite some time. You guys have to remember, Mosley beat Margarito, and then after that was inactive for a while. He was supposed to fight Berto, right? In my opinion, he was going to knock Berto out, dude, right? And I remember telling people that time, Mosley's going to beat the brakes out of Berto. There was no doubt in my mind. And I have my reasons for that, but we'll probably do a poll on that too. I think that's another poll. Like Mosley fights that should have happened. That didn't happen. Right? I think Judah was another one that I still have the Ring magazine that had the Judah promotion. It was the cover has Judah and Mosley in it. But that fight didn't happen. So we'll get to talking about that for sure, man. Okay, we'll get to talking about that for sure. And then, of course, we'll talk about, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. I mean, the more I think about it, holy shit. Mosley had a great career, man. He really did. And don't let the late stages of his career fool you. And that happens a lot, especially with guys that picked up boxing around the time. Like De La Hoya Mosley, De La Hoya, Mayweather. And after that, especially when social media blew up. I mean, you have guys that have been watching boxing for 4 or 5 years. There's nothing wrong with that. But, man, you guys need to understand that this dude don't get it twisted. Right? Mosley, he lost to Mundine, bro. Mosley. Man, Mosley looked like shit when he fought Pablo Cano. Man, Mosley looked like shit when he fought Mayorga in that fucking second fight or whatever. Yeah, of course. Yeah. That was late in his career, bro. He was way past his prime. All right? Don't get it twisted. Shane Mosley was the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world at one point. He was considered that at one point, right? And if not the best, he was definitely top 3, without a shadow of a doubt, right? Mosley was the king of 147 till Vernon Forrest came around, right? He took on all comers. He rematched dudes that beat him immediately. So you have to respect that. Now you have to respect that. This dude was a phenomenal fighter in his day. Unbelievable fighter. Really good at attacking the body. One thing people never mention about that Margarito fight, one of the reasons he beat the piss out of Margarito, right? Because Mosley knew how to fight Mexicans, bro. And he knew how to beat Mexicans at their own game. That's another thing people never talk about. Shane Mosley All right. He grew up in Los Angeles, bro. All right. He sparred with Mexicans all the time, dude. All right. He grew up around Mexican fighters. All right. So, like, this guy, like, he knew, man. I'm telling you, there's even interviews where Mosley talks about this, but Margarito, man, had never been attacked to the body like that. All right. But he had his own style too, Mosley, right? Really good. I mean, really strong in the clinch. I mean, he just manhandled Margarito. Like, people just assume, oh, Margarito is big and strong. Yeah, but there's different types of strengths, right? And Mosley just manhandled him, right? Just manhandled him in the clinch. Margarito didn't know what to do. He just battered him. That was a hell of a performance. That wasn't even Mosley in his prime, right? It wasn't even Mosley in his prime. Obviously Mosley had a great fight with Cotto. That fight is disputed on who won. I felt Cotto edged it out, but if someone tells me Mosley won, I'm not going to argue with you because I could see both sides. I really can. That fight, by the way, and if we ever get to Cotto Appreciation Week, man, that's going to be beautiful. But you see the contrast in Cotto, and you see the contrast on how styles make fights, right? Yes, I understand, and I do believe that Margarito definitely cheated, and I do believe he was getting plaster of Paris in his glove. You guys can go, right? Find plaster of Paris, the compounds of it, all right? At a Home Depot or a Lowe's, go find it, man. You'll see it, and it'll tell you the ingredients and how to harden it, right? And this was water. When a fighter's hands are wrapped, they start in the dressing room hitting the pads, right? And it's hot in there from there to until they walk all the way to the ring, till they announce the fighters, and then finally when they're in the center of the ring, and then when they start throwing punches, believe me, there's sweat there, and it starts to harden that compound, right? Like, no doubt about it. And it starts getting even harder and harder, right? So anyone who tells you, all right, that I don't think he cheated, then first of all, why was it there for the Mosley fight, right? You really believe that's the one and only time he did it, right? Let's get bullshit, right? And I love that Mosley win with Mark. I love it, man. Like, I love it. It felt like justice. It really did. Like, somebody needed to beat that dude's ass, and it felt good when it happened. It really did. Like, I never enjoyed watching somebody getting their ass beat, right? I may not have known that night. I'll keep it real. I was like, holy shit, Mosley, right? I did always say, man, I wasn't on YouTube yet at that time, but I was like, man, like, Mosley is a far better fighter than Margarito. I just didn't know how far away from that cliff, far away from that prime that he was. I wasn't sure how far he was from his prime. I wasn't sure. But I knew he was a better fighter, and I knew he had the tools to beat Margarito. And when he went in there and dismantled him, battered him, just dominated him. That fight was not even close. It was satisfying as a fan. But then when I found out the whole plaster of Paris thing, oh man, I kept going back and watching that fight. Like, beat his ass, I said. I loved watching that shit. It was awesome. It felt like justice. It really did. Right? Now, Cotto. Right? Man, contrast, right? That aside, Margarito didn't know what the fuck to do when Mosley clinched him. Cotto, man, was really good at fighting off the clinch. Really good at it, man. Really, he was wrestling in there with Mosley with those arms, all right? It did not allow Mosley to tie him up and get momentum that way. Brilliant. That's the one thing I love about that fight, all right? I do love that. How he fought off that clinch. Cotto knew what to do. He knew how to fight against the clinch and use the clinch against you when he tried to do it, which the way it should be. All right. So props to that. Anyway, Shane Mosley, man, a lot of memories of Shane, right? A lot. Right hand, clinch the body, shot. Right hand, clinch. Margarito had absolutely no answer. He had nothing. And for those saying, "Oh, but he was holding," man, there's holding, and then there's clinching. There is a difference between hugging somebody, okay, and all that. There's a difference. Many refs tell you, man, if you're holding one hand, you can use your free hand to punch. They've been doing that since the dawn of boxing, bro. Right? That's some old school shit too. Old school fighters knew what to do when that happened. Now, I cannot tell you how frustrated I get when I see someone get held and you just look at the ref. They just look at the ref and they're just like, "Ref, help me out, ref. He's holding me, ref. Ref." Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Defend yourself. And if the ref says break, then you break. If the ref says stop, then stop. If you don't know what to do against a clinch with Shane Mosley, he destroyed you. There was period. A-Rod says Mosley was a brawler. I wouldn't really classify that, but I get what you mean, but Mosley had his own style, man. He really did. It was a mix of many of the tricks of the trade that he learned, right? But he definitely had power. Christopher Tom at Kodo 7-5. Christopher Tom says, word up, excellent point. People used to talk about Mosley, sparring Mexican fighters. Nobody talks about that anymore. Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys want an example? I mean, for all the amateur experience and accolades and success that Lomachenko had, right? 2-time gold medalist. His only loss was in the final of a world championship, for a gold medal, but not the Olympics. But think about that. And he avenged that loss. You would think, this guy is a beast, right? Didn't know it took him, I don't know how many rounds to figure out, okay, that Orlando Salido was just not playing by those same rules, right? Okay, I'm gonna just stand here mid range or from a distance, and I'm gonna see if I could out jab you, Lomachenko. Okay, all right. Let's see if I could land this right hand on you. I wasn't able to hit you. It's okay. I'm just gonna keep trying. Okay, let's see who can punch who more from this distance. All right, fuck that, right? They know what the fuck to do when he was getting roughhoused. He was getting roughhoused. He was getting hit with borderline shots. Okay, you bunch of crybabies. He was hitting him in the balls. He was hitting him in the balls. Shut up. He wasn't hitting him in the balls, right? There were borderline shots. Yes, some of them were a little low. But on the waist, not the balls. Okay, stop the nonsense. Okay, maybe he hit him in the balls when the ref wasn't looking. Okay, depending on the position. But that's the name of the game, right? Defend yourself at all times. He didn't know what the fuck to do. And I honestly don't think, man, that was a past his prime, Orlando Salido. Period. That was a past his prime, Orlando Salido. And there's, Efimo Lopez right now, I think is definitely a more skilled fighter than Salido. It's yet to be seen he has the balls of Salido. We don't know that yet, right? But if he does, Salido's in trouble, man. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. That's another story. But my point is, Mosley knew what to do. When someone trying to roughhouse him, he knew how to handle that. He knew what to do. Even when he just became pro, he knew what to do because of the environment in which he grew up on, right? He was an amazing body puncher because of the environment in which he grew up on. So that's it. But, man, a lot of you guys, man, I know a lot of people that the first time they saw Shane Mosley was when he was going to fight Mayweather, right? Like that's the first time they ever heard of Mosley. They saw some clips and stuff like that, and like, oh, this guy, and then they probably just saw that Mosley and thought, oh, that's it? That's the guy? Almost look, I don't care what anybody says. He was pretty close at knocking Mayweather out in that second round, right? He was pretty close, right? Mayweather coming out and being, no, I was hurt more by chop, like just trying to justify it that way. Every time Mayweather comes out and denies it, like hardcore, like before the McGregor fight. Oh yeah, McGregor's really skilled. He did nothing but praise him, right? That's when you know he's full of shit. That's when you know he's full of shit. When Mayweather came out and downplayed how hurt he was, man, I saw your knees buckle, bro, and he hit you again. And look, credit Mayweather had a hell of a chin, bro. He took those shots. A lot of fighters would have been out there right there, but he took those shots, and obviously turned the fight around. And for the rest of that fight, just showed everybody why, especially at that period of their careers, he was just a better fighter, right? It might have been the same thing, but I think it would have been a lot closer. Okay, more competitive at 135. My opinion. We'll never know, but my opinion. And I'm going to twist it. I was riding for Mayweather for that fight. I had the video to prove it. But it's I know how I felt in that second round. And you guys know that let's not forget, okay, how that second round went. All right. I agree with you, 10. Hell with Margarita. Also, that Mosley, let's keep it real, man. The Barrow fight got canned. Till this day, I don't even know if it's been confirmed if Barrow took step aside money. I believe that's true, but I think Barrow got like a cool $1 million step aside. Like, holy shit. But then, the Mosley had to wait, man. I forget what it was, like 18 months or something like that. I could be off with that, but it was quite a while. In fact, let's just check the date right now. Shit. All right? Let's check this out right now. We're going to check the dates right now, just to be clear. We don't got to do everything by memory, D-Style. We got Box Rec. Look at this. Box Rec, and then look at this. He fought Mayweather on May 1st, and then that I should have remembered, because I remember Shane saying May 1st will be May's first, right? His first loss. And he fought Margarito in January of 2009. So that's, it's January 24th. So let's just say February. Let's give you those 6 days. That's a long time. So that's all of February, March, April, right? And then May, that's 4 months, and then a whole year. That's 16 months. He was out of the ring for 16 months, right? And especially at that age, he had to be. Mosley should have taken a tune-up, man. Maybe he didn't want to take any risk or whatever, but at the end of the day, and he still hurt Mayweather in the second round. So that and his age. So for those that, like, a lot of people only saw Mosley, that fight and the Pacquiao fight, and this guy's trash, right? We're not going to talk about the Pacquiao fight. Something fun. There's something weird about that fight. Okay. Till this day, I said it then, and I'll say it now. There's something weird about that fight. All right. But we ain't going to go there. The Mosley fans were talking a lot of shit before the fight. Yeah, they were. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Good points, AJ10. Yep, it's what they wrapped my hand with when I sprinted. Yeah. Plaster of Paris, that's right. Real says felt better when Cotto ended him. Yeah, Cotto was beating his ass in that rematch, man. He was beating his ass. The beating would have continued. It would have continued. I kind of wish they let it continue. No, but the fighter, D-Style, they got to look for. I don't give a shit. For Margarito, I don't give a fuck. But my boy Mosley will win. Break it down how we win. I don't know. Mosley always had a shot because he's the dude was a power puncher. He could hit hard. He could, and he did have fast hands. So, and you saw that in the second round. You know what I mean? The thing is that Moses just, after that, you know, you can't be a one-trick pony against Floyd. Is that all you? Was that plan A and that's it? He didn't have any. So every time he tried to do that again, Floyd had an answer for it, and Moses didn't know what else to do. That's what happened. Moses had those fast hands, and if you try and brawl, he'll beat you to the punch. Yeah, absolutely. All right, absolutely. Good punch resistance. All right, good fighter, man. Good fighter. This is Shane Mosey Appreciation Week. All right, I want to thank you guys for joining me right now. Make sure you throw a jab at that like button. Make sure you go and vote on those polls. Go to DStyleBoxing and go to the community tab, and bam, vote. Don't forget to vote. Maybe would have said, let's see what happens if I take away your right hand. I do believe, I remember he said that. All right. With that said, guys, look out for more polls out there. All right. I'm out. Peace.